What made you want to start making music or get into filming?
So as far as I can remember, I was 11. I was 11 years old when I first started recording music. When I fell in love with music, it was, or like, I guess you can say when I like first started like having interest in doing music, it was probably at age 10. But I grew up in a household that had love for music. So my dad was a disc jockey. In his day, my mom was in a band as like one of the lead singers, and also my older brother, he rapped as well. So that was kind of like the passion that really, kind of like the fuel that really drove the passion to pursuing music, and the rest just followed with film as well. So that's kind of.
Who was your inspiration on getting started?
Right. So my inspiration on the person who was my inspiration on getting started, I can say it was my oldest brother. So my older brother, he was in a rap group way back in the day. Like, this was probably like back in 2000, and he was in a rap group. They first came up with their album. It was locally famous, and like it was, I guess you could say, hood famous. And it was kind of the talk of the town at the time. So just hearing him, just his raps and like him freestyling with his friends, and I really felt that was pretty cool. In the rap battles, sometimes I'll go in and they'll kind of hype me up as a kid freestyling, so it was kind of like a vibe. It was pretty good. It wasn't until probably around '07, I was like 13 years old, 12, 13. So my brother, he wasn't, he's kind of him. And it was like at one point he was like just doing a little bit of stuff in the streets, if you know what I mean, right? So he already know he wants me to talk about this. But when we were home at one point, he showed me like a wad of cash. I'd never seen that much money before, and it was kind of like an eye opener. It was like, oh, like he was just showing me all of this, like he had his stash, and I was like, oh man, like I was a kid at the time. So later on, like probably that day or like later on, he came back to me, he apologized, and he was like, I want you to pursue something different than what I do here on the side. I see you're talented, you like music, you should pursue it. So he just motivated me to like really keep myself clean and like pursue the career in music and like really take it on serious. So ever since that day, like I remember like it was yesterday almost. And he was like, whenever you have an interview, make sure the people know that. And that's what happened. True story.
What was your favorite part about making music or filming?
So when I started doing the music and film, I started incorporating the film when I turned around, probably going on 14. So the favorite thing that I really like about like music creation and filmmaking as well is the joy that it brings to people, like rather it's online or just like your peers showing up the next day at school, and like people saying, oh, we seen that on YouTube and that was really cool. This was like way back in the day when YouTube was like fairly new here in Canada, so it was kind of like a little bit foreign at the time. Like not a lot of people really used the platform, but it was kind of like one of those like platforms like of a niche, I guess, set of people that was kind of like into that stuff. So we kind of like really stood out. At the time I was in a rap group, so I was like doing the music videos off of like the family's like laptop webcam. Shout out to the webcams. And so we did that, put it on YouTube, started did the music and put it together because we were just broke kids. We didn't really have jobs. We couldn't go in and get an actual job. So we couldn't pay, a professional videographer to do our videos. So I kind of like just learned the way to do it and just put it together in the Windows Movie Maker. And basically we just edited it. We chopped it in. So basically we chopped it in. Okay, wait. So basically we chopped it up. We put it in Windows Movie Maker, and I guess you could say the rest was history. And we just started uploading like crazy. Probably one video to this day maybe exists somewhere online, but that's kind of like the last evidence of us doing that back in like the late 2000s. So yeah.
What was your first car?
So we're getting to the good question now. What was my first car? So my first car was a 2001 Chevy Cavalier, dark blue, bone stock. For some reason, I loved the car. I bought it from a relative when I was like probably 16. So soon after I got my license, I kept seeing the car like just parked in the yard, and it's just been sitting because they didn't use it anymore. I think at the time, like that relative, they moved away, so it just stayed in their parents' yard. And I ended up buying it. Well, saved up some money. My grandfather matched, went half with me. So he paid half, I paid half, and I ended up buying the car. And that was my first car. I guess you could say my first love, as funny as it is. It is a Cavalier at the end of the day. It wasn't manual. I wanted it automatic. No, it wasn't manual, so I had it automatic, unfortunately. But I made the best of it, bought some wheels, eventually got it tinted. It was a little rough, so I had to just do my little detailing a little bit. It had like a graze of some sort on the back trunk, but I'm not gonna get more into that. But you can put two and two together from when I got it, so it was definitely a car for sure. And yeah, I just started doing light mods to it, from like cold air intake. Eventually fell into the trap of getting a fart can on it. So I thought it was really cool, but now looking back at it, I shouldn't have did it. I should have just got a manual, Civic, and then just called it a day. But yeah, that was my car through high school, and I do not regret a single moment having that car. Maybe except for when it overheated and I needed a head gasket, but it did its work. Then I passed it on to my little brother once I was done with it.
What got you into cars?
So usually it's usually people say they got into cars, rather it was from movies or just seeing something like in media, or like just even from like a grandparent, or even like a cousin or your father, or like even mother sometimes, who knows. But for me, I got into cars, like how I fell in love with cars, it was just being in the community. So I come from North Preston, so it was a lot of like muscle cars, not a lot of Euros. It was probably none at all. But at that time, there was like, Mustangs, Corvettes, few Dodge trucks, and some Blazers, S10s, and stuff like that. So where I lived, it was kind of like in a spot where like people really did donuts. Like it was like the donut spot. So you did like burnouts, and like my school was like across from that street as well. So I was like seeing all of the action everywhere. Like probably like every weekend, like I would see like all the nice cars showing up, neons, underglow, limos, like just crazy stuff that I would see in terms of cars. So I fell in love with it, like from the tire smoke, the scent of it, to the way the cars look, and then like it really transcended into like wanting like RC cars as a kid. For Christmas, I would get them Dinkies model cars. That's all I really like loved. So like if it was like a Christmas gift, if I were to get like an RC car, I'm fine with that. Or a video game, I was fine with that. Like probably I can say maybe 80% of my video game collection that I still have to this day is probably all the Need for Speeds, all the test drives, all the midnight clubs, some GTA, anything that involved a car, like even like the Stuntman series. I had all of those games, and that's kind of like what drew me into it more. Even from seeing the first Fast and Furious, like I remember that night, just seeing the first Fast and Furious. Like my mom took me and my little brother to see another movie while my dad and my older brother went to go see the Fast and Furious. So when we were done seeing our movie, because we were younger, we couldn't really watch that movie due to the R-rated thing that it had. Once that movie was done, we went into the other movie to just wait for my dad and my older brother. So it was at that scene where Dom and Brian, they were at the red light and they were gonna drag race. That was the scene that really caught me. They jumped that train track. I was like, yeah, I officially love cars. I want that Supra. I want that Charger. And that's kind of like what really like made it official for me, including the Midnight Club series as well. So, and yeah.
What was your first song that started your career?
So this is a kind of a silly, it's probably going to be an embarrassing answer, but the first song that really, I guess you could say, like really put me on the map in terms of notoriety, I could say it was a song called Cash and Chevys. So I don't know how it started, but we did the song, we found the beat online, and me and my friend, we recorded the song in our as our rap group, and we did it just over again a webcam video or the computer audio system, and we used this thing called Mixcraft, and we recorded it, put it together, and we released it. We did a video for it, and that was kind of the talk of the hallways in junior high, and everybody they were so excited, and they're just singing, reciting the song, and it was a cheesy song now I'm thinking about it, but it was kind of like the first song that was like, hey, if you make more music, this could really change a lot of things. So that was kind of the first song, and yeah, I don't think Cooper knows about this, but now he knows. So in 2020, we had a thing called COVID. So this was years later from the days of Cash and Chevys. So in 2020, I put out a song just for the fun of it called State of Blazes Home. It kind of went off of Premier McNeil at the time. And I was like, he said State of Blazes Home. That doesn't sound like something that, a public figure would say. So I was just bored in the house, couldn't really go anywhere. And I started a laptop, made the beat, grabbed his voice from the press conference, and my younger brother and my friend Chad. So instantly it was like a hit. They laughed. It was good reception. They were like, yeah, you should put it out. So I just put it as, just for the fun of it. And when I say it blew up overnight, it blew up overnight. not only in Nova Scotia but across Canada, and it even made it to like the morning. I think it was the morning broadcast or breakfast television in Toronto. They were talking about it. All of the news outlets were talking about it. It was really a surreal time. Like honestly, that like if COVID didn't happen, I don't know if that song would have had that traction. Well, State of Blazes Home wouldn't have been a thing if COVID didn't happen. But shout out to COVID. Yeah, as bad as it is, shout out to COVID. You made the song blow up. You got my name around households. DJs were playing it outside on their porches. People sending me videos dancing to it, and yeah, everybody was vibing with it. So shout out. Eventually, Premier McNeil, he heard it and he loved it. He actually loved it. Like someone told me like that's close with him, and they said that he actually loves the song. And this whole time I thought he wasn't gonna feel it, and I thought I had to take it down, but he actually was really grateful. Actually, weirdly, on the success of the
I
song
am
and
so tired of hearing of
remixing
grocery
him and Dr.
stores,
String
Walmart, Tim Horton parking
in
lots
that segment.
filled with
So
cars,
shout out to
as
Premier
if we are not in
McNeil
the
as well.
midst of a deadly pandemic.
What do the names of your cars mean, and what do they mean to you?
The Cavalier named I named that car after Mystique from X-Men. So the blue villain. So she was like kind of like very, I guess, very blue. So the car was blue too. There's really nothing really to it. So blue and goldish eyes, and she really had these like crazy mutant powers that like I kind of like really like digged, and it was like really cool. But even though she was like kind of like a villain, I was like, the Cavalier kind of reminds me of that. I like X-Men as well, so that's where that name really came from. The second one, my E36 that I had, that was the name was Levette. So I don't know how like ran with that. So after my E36, I kind of got into the Mercedes bug. So my first Mercedes was a 99 C230 compressor, the supercharged model, and I named that one after Janis Joplin. So it was like short for Janis Joplin, Janis. It kind of went hand in hand. Really loved that car. It was kind of like the beginning of a beautiful relationship with the brand. So I just did Janice, and that was kind of like the name that really stuck with me, and kind of like it was appropriate for that car. So my second one was a 2003 S. So another Mercedes S Class this time, and that was Salem. So the reason why I went with Salem was because Salem was kind of like Salem, the cat from Sabrina, the Teenage Witch. Salem was black, and my Salem, my S Class was black. So I was like, okay, I'll go with that. I like Sabrina, the Teenage Witch. Salem's kind of cool, so I kind of like dubbed it as like Salem the Benz, like Janice the Benz. So I kind of kept I guess a trend going on with that. And for my third Mercedes, you can probably tell now that I'm kind of like a Mercedes head now. But my third Mercedes, the one behind us right now, the G wagon, her name is Gypsy. Um, my my girlfriend Natalia came up with that name, the idea of that name, because if you know what a gypsy is, then you can probably like you know get your you can probably figure it out from there in your terms of opinions and things of that such. So, Gypsy is the name of the G wagon, and I just recently inquired or acquired rather a another S class. It's a 2011 S450 4matic, beautiful car. Magno. I think it's a beautiful paint color. Designo Magno 2011 S450 4matic S class. Beautiful, beautiful car. Acquired it recently, and we kind of went like maybe a week or so without a name for it until we thought of it, and Natalia thought of it. It the name is Luna, so we kind of like went with the I guess the trend of cat names, I guess. So Luna, and then you got Salem, and it's kind of like I guess off of like Sailor Moon too, I guess. Maybe there's a Luna on there. I think there is a Luna on there. I could be wrong, but that S class name is Luna. So those are the names of my cars. So yeah.
What is your next step for filming slash music?
So the next steps for both music and filming for myself is I want to get more of my personal music out there because I feel like I have um, a distinct sound and a message in terms of like my material that I create. And I have hopes of releasing more music videos, more music, more singles and albums. Um, I kind of branded myself around like the lifestyle of car enthusiasts going to like car shows, going to car meets, going on cruises, tuning, and like just overall just being around a car and just like kind of like upgrading and just enjoying the living hell out of it. And I want to translate that into my music more, because in the past I got really good reception in the car community from enthusiasts, like just sending me like snaps, videos, putting in their stories, like just bumping my music while they're driving. So I was like, hey, okay, I should be doing that more, because no one else is really doing it out here. So I was like, I'm just gonna stay in my lane. It's something that I'm actually involved in. So why not just put it in my music? So going forward for the next couple years, I want to put it more of my own material. But of course, I'm always working on a lot of projects. If you know me personally, I always got something on the go. So definitely looking forward to more projects for any collaborators in the future that I'm working with. Rather, it's gonna be a short film, documentary film, like long movie format, or even like anything after movie recap, you name it, I'm down. But I really hope to see more of my music playing through your car system, your phone, and just having a good time and just doing wicked shows with it. So hoping to see you at a venue soon.
What car from the ones you have had, what was your favorite, and which one do you miss the most?
So compared to like my friends owning cars, like I can probably say I got the least car owning count out of them. I say like I'm probably at like car number 4 right now, maybe, or maybe 5. But anyways, so the car that I really favor the most is, I had to say this one back here, the G wagon. Um, Obviously for what it is, but also it's a milestone for me, in terms of what I guess hard work and dedication can do. So I've been really wanting a G wagon like probably since maybe 2019, or like probably a little earlier than that. But obviously, I couldn't obtain it because I just wasn't where I was financially, and just like in my life at the time. So at 29, I guess you can say this was kind of like a 30th, a early 30th birthday gift to me, and kind of like just like in terms of like my hard work, just being in like the industry that I was in or that I'm currently in, film and music. I was able to get into the market and get the G wagon. So it was kind of like, it's kind of like a reminder that anything is possible, just with a little bit of like work and like a little bit of sweat and a little late nights and just kind of like just working until you get it right, working at your craft until you get it right. So that's, I can say that's my favorite. Every time I come out to, I come outside to get into it, like I'm always happy. I'm never sad about driving it, never sad about looking at it. Um and it's kind of like, I guess you could say it's kind of like my first supercar or super truck, if you want to say, if you want to classify it as a supercar or in that category. But it's, when you see a G wagon, it's kind of like it's a status symbol. So that's like, I guess you can say that's my favorite, because it really hard work that you can put into, and just overall great reward, to have in your stable of cars. My favorite, the car that I miss the most, I would definitely have to give it to Levette, aka my E36. That car, I met so many friends through that car. It's insane. I got it back in 2012, kind of like end of high school. Um, Gift to myself. I wanted, no, this was at the time when I was like getting more into like stance and like just like lowering the car and just kind of like I wanted more out of it. Plus I wanted a 5 speed. The Cavalier was great and all, but it wasn't manual. I couldn't really do much with it. So at the time, like the E36 was, it was dope. It was good, but like it's not where it's at right now, where it's like a culture phenomenon. So that car, I met so many people like through the car community with it, and I'm still friends with them till this day. Like from going to like the meets at Point Pleasant to going all the way down to Sackville, or even like over here at Chicken Burger. Yeah, it was definitely the car that really set the tone for like the new era of friends after high school, or like life after high school, right? So I had that car from 2012 until early 2015 when it was time to let it go. Just due to like the body and this age. But it was definitely, it's definitely still to this day a car that I dearly miss, and hopefully one day I can get into another E36, and build that, and just just relive that nostalgic moment.
What is your favorite style of filming?
Currently, right now, like my favorite style of filming is kind of like using like a more modern twist, but with a nostalgic feel. So what I mean by that is still using like the 4K, and like just like having that crisp quality, but also incorporating like the vintage assets, like rather it's like 4 by 3, or like a grainier kind of look. And also I'm really big on like aerial shots, like into my footage and like into my projects. So I like using like the drone. I like using I like trying to put the camera into like positions where traditionally it's not really um, used a lot, or like haven't been like used before. There's a thing called the Dutch angle. If you're kind of familiar with that in like film, it's a angle where like you just tilt the camera a little bit to like the side, like you kind of make it crooked, kind of like where it's like it's a dramatic feel that's happening. You kind of lock off that shot, rather it's like stationary, or just like keeping it in one place. I'm really a fan of that. Um, but like yeah, I guess my style is kind of it's kind of like a bit of like just bringing that vintage feel, but also keeping it in a modern a modern atmosphere as well.
If there's anything you could change with the car scene, whether it's Nova Scotia, Canada, or the world, what would it be and why?
If it was anything that I could change in the car scene, rather it's in the world or even like province or like within like my city, I would say window tint. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Um, I would say like in all realness, I would say just making the I guess making the just bringing us more together. Like you got the bike scene where they're so supportive in like their builds and like just kind of like getting together. Rather it's like if it's a fallen member or if it's a fundraiser or even if it's like a just a end of season gathering. I just wish it was more organized in a sense of like planning like like a simple like end of season cruise. I wish it was more respected. I wish it was more respect in the car scene, like especially like here just from my knowledge. Like the term respect all builds shouldn't be taken lightly. It should be a staple, like respect all builds. you know the bike crew can respect all builds, and no one there's really no negativity, like from my experience being around the bike scene. I'm not a biker myself, but I know bikers, and they really respect each other's builds. So I think it really comes down to respecting the build, and really just like helping each other out, like when it's like knowledge, or like not like not shaming a person that if they don't know how to change a like changing converting into like a coilover suspension, or even like just want to know what's the best motor, or even like the best exhaust system to really go with, um or even like just choosing that brand of car. I wish it was like kind of more respected, if that makes sense. So that's what I would change in the overall call scene.
If there is anything you would like to tell the future generations coming into the car scene or for filming in general, what would you suggest for the new people coming into the scene or into film?
I guess the advice that I could really give to, the next generation or future generations, even just looking back at this, I can say, I can definitely say this, as simple as it sounds, be yourself, and like what you don't try to keep up with the Joneses. Don't try to really fit the mold of someone else's opinion. Kind of like just do you. Like I kind of got into, I basically got into music because I had interest in it, but I didn't really do the traditional kind of way of doing it. Like I got into making the beats my own way, and then also like performing live and like kind of turning my music into rock versions, and like performing with like a live band as like my backup. So it's kind of like do what do what you want to do, because there's always it's a fan for everything. Like you're gonna have fans for everything. Like there's a market for everything. So just keep keep at what you're doing. You're gonna you're gonna see results. You might not see them right away, but you're definitely gonna grab the crowd that you want to grab, and you'll stand out from the crowd. Believe me, trust me. Um, and also that it's the same that goes for the car community. You know, if it's a car, like don't if it's a car that you really want, you don't have to get a a Civic like everyone else. You don't have to get R34 or 33, etc. like everyone else. If you want to get like that Eagle Falcon or like that Talon, or if you want to get like a old, I don't know, like a Pontiac Fiero, or even like even something rarer like that, then you can you can do that. Or not rare, but something that's not, I guess, common, right? All of my cars, except for my first car, was different at the time, like locally, like in our group. Like, not a lot of people were running around with C230s on bags and just, just a big S class, and like trying to turn that out into like a VIP build, or even just um, this the AMG Static, or just in my age range. Like, those cars are looked at as like a grandpa car, right? That's essentially what is looked at. Not anymore now, but at the time it was. So dare to be different. So that's what I'm gonna leave with you, and I'm gonna stop rambling for now. But that's just my advice, my life advice from my TED talk.